Now, in the 20 years since the world's most famous woman died in that anonymous underpass in Paris, the moments before and after that epoch-changing crash have been endlessly speculated about. But one man who was there, a doctor who tried to save Princess Diana, told us today, yes, the paparazzi did continue taking photos, but they did not stop him doing what he should.
What happened to Princess Diana on that August night in 1997 is by now a story well told. But at the point in Paris closest to the spot where she and two others died, people came in increasing numbers today to place photos and to take them. They stand above the busy road tunnel where Diana's car crashed. 20 years have passed and still we debate the role of the paparazzi here that night.
I would have loved to save her. I tried my best. I did the best I could.
No one knows better what happened to the princess than Frédéric Maillet, an off-duty emergency doctor who drove into the tunnel 30 seconds after Diana's car had crashed.
When I opened the door of the car, I discovered this young lady, and she was alive, but she was unconscious and she had difficulty to breathe. I wasn't aware of the internal hemorrhage that killed her. When I left the scene, I thought, well, maybe she can make it.
Diana's two sons, William and Harry, have spoken in the last few weeks about the paparazzi. Harry uses the words they could have helped, but they chose to take pictures.
I realized that a lot of pictures were taken. There were a lot of flash, but at no time they hamper me doing my job. I never asked them to help me, but they didn't block my way.
So the medics had the space to treat Diana, but her car had been followed into the tunnel by a pack of photographers.
And you can see that she was posing.
At the offices of the French magazine Paris Match, you can look back on a summer edition from 1997 with photos of Diana in Saint-Tropez, and then a September edition marking her death.
Sure, the paparazzi were always around her, but she liked it. She wanted paparazzi around, and we are not so sure that the paparazzi were so guilty.
For Princes William and Harry, the anniversary is an intensely personal moment, but the day has also been observed by so many who didn't know her.
And Chris joins us now from Paris. Chris, we've often heard William and Harry talk about their visceral rage, really, I don't think there's any other way of putting it, about the fact that the photographers were still taking pictures of their mother as she died. It seems to symbolise something for them, doesn't it? What's your own assessment of that moment and its impact on them?
Well, you know, Tom, what more is there to learn, to be frank, of a story that's been raked over endlessly for the past 2 decades? But there were a couple of things that really did strike me today. One, I think, is the clarity with which that medic said to us that the paparazzi didn't hamper the job that he was doing. In other words, Princess Diana's life couldn't be saved. But I think the other point, Tom, as you've just mentioned, it's clear where William and Harry's distrust of the press comes from. As Harry articulated in that documentary just a week or so ago, he still cannot believe that members of the press went up to the car in which their mother was travelling and continued to take pictures as she lay in the back seat. And I know that both the princes still continue to believe that there are a couple of members of the paparazzi in particular, and I'm not talking about the majority of photographers here by any means, but a couple of members who continue to overstep the line when it comes to taking pictures of William, Kate and Harry. And, you know, it doesn't take much, does it really, Tom, to see where that sort of inbuilt distrust of the press comes from?
There's been a lot of coverage, obviously, of this anniversary. Do you think it has damaged Charles all over again?
Well, I think, you know, if you look at some polls recently, I think it probably has. But, you know, to be fair to Prince Charles and to Camilla, they've kept a dignified silence. I think they knew they weren't going to win a popularity contest when it came to the anniversary of Princess Diana's death. But they go back to work next week. In fact, the Prince of Wales is naming a ship after him, the second aircraft carrier, and they return to work and just keep doing the thing that they do, which is their royal duties.
OK, Chris, thank you very much indeed.